Hey everybody, Big Al here, Big Al's Fishing Addiction. Happy Friday the 13th. Hey, I'm just getting ready to go to Strawberry Reservoir. Thought I'd show some people what I set up for strawberry. General lakes with trout. Super simple. Most people know this. But one of the best rigs is going to be power bait. Sinking from the bottom. So what I do is I take a weight. Looks like this. And I make sure that the narrow end is pointing towards the tip of the pole. So that way when you're reeling in, you don't get snagged as much. So you put the bullet weight on first. Then you just take a swivel. Everyone knows what a swivel is. You tie the swivel on. I just do a general fisherman's knot. I wrap it around 7 times for good luck. Grab it, put it back through the hole that you started. Get a little wet. Pull it tight. Then you just cut out the loose end. Okay, that part is done. So now you got your weight going down to your swivel. Next, I take some leader. I like to use mono for this, especially if you're going to be floating power bait, because fluorocarbon sinks, mono floats. So let's give this the power bait a better chance to float. So depending on what kind of lake you're at, like strawberry can be deep and really, lots of spots, and can be really shallow. Where I'm going, I'm hoping it's a lot deeper, plus we'll be from the boat and from the shore. So I'm gonna go about 24 inches. Cut it off right there. Then you're gonna tie that back onto your swivel. Same knot every time. It helps when you're getting old. Make sure you have some good light. Same thing 7 times. And that's 7. Put it back through the hole. Get it wet. Pull it tight. See? That might be a little long, but hey, you slowly cut it off and then get short. Sometimes we start really long. We're keep catching fish, cutting them off. We're pretty much down to here. We're still catching fish. But deeper water, it's nice to start with a long. Then I always take a size 16, the smallest treble hook you can find. You think big fish, you need a big hook. That's not necessary. That means a bigger ball of power bait. So I just take a size 16 hook. I'm using laser sharp, the red hooks. Don't use the gold ones. Everyone knows who uses the gold ones. They break off very easily. They're not strong at all. So do the same thing 7 times. Make sure you do it kind of loose, because if you do it too tight, when you wrap your wraps, the hole gets really small. Get it wet so you don't stab yourself. This part, always grab some pliers and just pull it tight. Same thing. Cut off your loose line. And that's done. What I usually use for this is any kind of power bait. Garlic, corn, salmon egg. Usually always works good. I have the best luck with garlic with no glitter. Just a light green one. That can usually kill it, or corn. And when I put the ball on, it's barely covered the hook. You don't want to have a huge ball. You might miss some small fish. So just barely cover the hook. And what I do too, because sometimes when you go to cast out, if you don't soak your bait, the bait goes flying off right after you put it on. So I always put the power bait on, pinch it tight, mold it a little bit, then I'll soak it in the water for a little bit before I cast. And one thing that's important too is on a mossy lake like Strawberry, when you cast out, a lot of people want to start reeling immediately just to tighten it up. Don't. Especially if you're a deep, lake and deep spots, you just cast out, let your line just peel off and let it sink on its own until it's all the way to the very bottom. And I slowly reel up the slack. Just enough where I can see a little bow. My line's tight where I can see a bite from the tip of my pole. So that's key. A lot of times I take new people fishing, they cast out, not even 5 minutes later they think they're snagged because they started reeling. So that's just a pointer. Another thing everyone knows is at Strawberry, tube jigs. Tube jigs are key. White tube jigs tipped with worm, chub meat. Some people do shrimp, especially ice fishing. That's what I do. Today I'm just going to use a pearl white tube. I love Send It Outdoors products. They're awesome. I even have a jig head. It has a rattle in it. Super awesome. Look them up. They have some awesome tubes. Pretty much any white tube. Pearl, sometimes even green pumpkin. Black and gold is probably one of my favorites with Send It Outdoors. They're awesome. To rig up a tube jig, obviously, you want to get it a little wet to help it get it through. Just get a little wet, get it started, and you push it through all the way to the end. Just like that. Then you just want to pop the plastic through. I look like that. Same thing, tie the same kind of knot, uni knot, whatever you like. But usually with power bait, something simple like a fisherman's knot. If I'm bass fishing, I'll use different knots. But a tube jig is key for Strawberry. Another thing, anytime someone's getting started trout fishing, you always want to have a few different things. Sometimes they like to chase things. Tiger trout, cutthroat, like chasing. So a couple of things that I love, your standard rooster tail. These are awesome. I cast them out, let them almost sink to the bottom, just pop them to get the blade spinning, and it's reel it slowly back to you. These are killer. They're awesome. Any type of panther martin, said that wrong. You know what I meant. These work really good too. Jake spinners, those are key. The gold with red dots, those are awesome as well. Rapala jerk baits, any type of deep diving crankbait, these are all awesome things. So for new people out there fishing, they want to know how I set up my Strawberry or just trout rigs, this is how I do it. So we're gonna go hit the shore tonight. Tomorrow morning we're after some kokanee. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.